Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with Inkbound. Today, we are sort of recording this ahead of time, mainly because in America we have well, I would like to call it a national holiday, but sometimes corporations don't agree. We have a holiday on Monday, so we're recording this ahead of time because I don't know if I'll have enough time on Monday in order to get the video out and edit it and all that stuff. This has a couple of advantages. One, it is obviously not Monday, so I am well rested. I have not gone to work, and therefore I'm not exhausted. So I should be able to hopefully think more clearly, which I'm going to need because it's Magma Monday. I really don't want to use this outlet in order to vent about, certain things about the game, but just to sort of temper expectations. We're now up at Gold 3. At Silver 1, we get the challenge buffs further increased in difficulty, which challenge buffs, of course, being the elite bonuses that enemies sometimes get. And on Gold 3, they start giving them to more enemies. This is really where the game starts to, kick up in difficulty. And that's for a variety of reasons. The increased challenge buffs are actually quite difficult at this point. Before, you could more or less just ignore most of them. Now the ones that you can't ignore are even more potent, and the ones that were kind of like minor before, like enemies have 15% resistance, it's now up to 30, and that's considerable because that'll completely offset, say, Shatter or Hex if you're using that. We have new mods like Team Captain that shields everybody for a percentage of their maximum HP every turn. Enemies just gaining like flat health and damage. All of these things are starting to ramp up, make the game more mechanically difficult, but otherwise, enemies still have like 20% HP. Villains Guardians still have, a little bit of extra HP. That's not really where it's at. We might see some of it in a couple of combats, and I'll make sure to point it out, but the additional enemy type getting a buff will very often actually start making a difference, and so we have to actually solve the fight before we start solving our turns. And I'll try and vocalize that a little bit. Also note that, of course, since we're going to be vocalizing a little bit more strategy, and the game is getting a ramp up in difficulty, expect these videos to start to head towards an hour and a half instead of around an hour. Now, going back to Magma Miner, in the playtest, I was legitimately stuck at Gold 3 on Magma Miner for the longest time, while I was just climbing the ranks easily with the other classes. I don't know if it's me. I used to joke a lot on the Twitch streams and even in the Discord that Magma Miner was reject brain cells, embrace bonky. Maybe that's actually the case, and I'm thinking too hard about it. Maybe my flowchart is wrong. I don't know what it is. If any of you guys have any like tips or tricks to help people at this rank start to do a little bit better with Magma Miner, be sure to leave that down in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to give all my tips and pointers and thought processes as I usually do. So, needless to say, I'm kind of dreading this, and I hope that we're going to be okay this time. But especially as we start rising the ranks, I really hope that it doesn't just become me smashing my face against the wall every Monday, which, I mean, that's what it is at work anyway, so as without, so within, right? But yeah, I feel like with every other class, I can dink around a little bit. Oh yeah, let's try making telekinesis our main damage this time. And on Magma Miner, I have to get the right hits, and I have to play perfectly, otherwise I might not even make it past book 1. Just sort of tempering expectations there. Alright. With that all out of the way, also something down for the comments. If you're in America, what exactly are you guys doing for the holiday? Hope that you guys are traveling safely, you're having a great time. I almost feel like Argoloth is a little bit rough right now. I've been bouncing back and forth, but I feel like Argoloth is kind of like the hardest villain right now. Especially when you take certain mods, because stuff like Final Chapters, which is usually pretty easy in the lower difficulties. In the later difficulties, I believe his tentacles get access to Final Chapters, and then he gets to ramp damage at later phases on the tentacles, and so their damage just gets out of control. And with Magma Miner, I'm not really confident that I'm necessarily going to have the ability to quickly dispatch these tentacles. Otherwise, obviously, fully augment 3 binding is pretty easy. Shadow of Runestone for 3 carvers. That should happen. And Cinders just inflict daze or critical hits. I could see us going for that. We're probably going to go for Shadows of Runestone. I think it's much easier on Magma Miner. Here we got Valmark, which is pretty good. Whispered Invitation is also pretty good, but it sort of like keys us out of damage resist later, or we replace this. But I'm always happy to see Whispered Invitation. Verdant Sprout is a way for us to, gain a little bit of, whenever we have a little bit of breakage in our first fight, right? Your first fight, you should lose about like 5 health. Sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's a little more. Verdant Sprout is very good at like keeping you topped off a little bit, so long as you don't have like a huge breakage. And so you can actually afford to pick up stats instead of using your stat shrines to grab stats when they decide to give you something good. And then, of course, Valmark. Valmark kind of falls off a little bit at this point because I can't guarantee that I'm going to stay above half health. But it's most likely going to help us during the early fights. But it's a question of, do we have Valmark, which is conditional 5 physical power, or do we just take 3 ability power, which also goes into, our burn or maybe some skills that we might take. We might end up with Chain Lightning, we might end up with Cone of Frost, maybe even Jinx. It's much more versatile, just comes at the deficit of, A, if you thought that you were going to start stacking damage resist, no. We'll probably go with that. Alright, of these here, I definitely don't like using Smash for 5 stacks of burn, although that's probably better than most things that we can do with burn. Scorching Leap is generally like my bread and butter of those options. And then as soon as we get a green Aug, we might even reroll for -1 cooldown, because that just completely changes the game for us. And I feel like that's almost mandatory at this level of the game. Neverending Story, Lusk, we could probably take that. I'm not feeling good with Overstimulated. I'm also not feeling very good against Giannis either. We definitely don't Ink Shell on Miner. Yeah, I think we take Neverending Story. This might come to bite us if we run into a very tanky heavy in fight 2. Don't know why I considered that for a bit. We always take Quillings. I suppose maybe that's one of the things that I could correct in my Magma Miner. Maybe on Magma Miner I'm supposed to start grabbing Vestiges, because that'll help curve our early game where I feel like he suffers. And then hopefully we build into a build. But a bunch of common Vestiges, while very good, I feel like just grabbing money and buying your build before the boss is more palatable, assuming, of course, that you survive to the boss. Again, we hopefully shouldn't have any issues at Gold 3, but it's happened before, like I said. What, we're actually gonna do something like this. These enemies having 30% physical resist is kind of suffer for us, but, you know, what are you going to do? Go ahead, take that. Does Magic Pixel exist? Magic Pixel does not seem to exist. Like, just barely. That's unfortunate. But we're going to focus damage on this Tangle because we're going to get hit by him anyways. It's possible that we were supposed to use... Oh, thank God for that crit. It's possible that we were supposed to use their disintegration oil, but I prefer to use those on the money pot because we're going to need the money. Okay, Magic Pixel doesn't exist there, so we're just going to leap here, grab this orb, smash. Magic Pixel doesn't exist here either. Debating maybe just smashing you. That might be for you, though. And now we full block. Very clean Magma Miner fight 1. Burn damage is something that helps us. I honestly don't want any of these. Now here we're looking for stuff to help with our bossing or single target. Incendiary, After Image I wouldn't be against because we also need to solve defense. Jinx, Cleave. Okay, we'll go ahead and take After Image, I guess. But we really need our next draft to be something with damage, because chances are Smash is not going to cut it. Okay, here comes the money pot. So we're going to Disintegration Oil. I think what we're going to do... Bonk. We're going to kind of end by leaping up here. Bonk. Smash. Orb. Leap. And I'm perfectly fine taking this damage here because of the fact that we were going to take damage regardless. And these guys hitting us for 2 is a little annoying. Let's hit this, then this, and now that's going to crit. So now we can hit everything here. Need just a little bit more. How much damage are we doing here? We're doing 61 with 4 stacks of heat. We should be able to bonk you, head up towards these guys, and be fine. The heat will take care of the rest. Magma Miner, unlike all other sources of temporary ability power, it actually cleanses at the start of your turn. Or at least it cleanses after debuffs, like, do damage. So despite it saying on turn end, like literally everything else in the game, this will actually affect your burn damage or any other sort of DOT that you're doing with Miner. And that definitely is a good advantage to have. But even stuff like, I believe, unless for whatever reason you have like a permanent case of Hex, like on Clairvoyance Hex Aura, it's actually going to fall off and enemies won't take bonus damage from it. Same with like Potion of Power, which is 8 ability power for the turn. All those things are going to clean up, if you will, before any of that takes effect. I want to bonk both of you. Tell me this magic pixel exists. There it is. Then I want to leap behind you, get that burn started. We're gonna miss by 2. If we crit, would that make a difference? No, that wouldn't make a difference. Guy has iron cannon, is taking increased damage. We have access to +3 ability power. We already had heat, and we still could not kill this Tangle on fight 2. If that Tangle had a actual, like, defensive buff, we honestly may have taken more damage despite him dealing less damage. Target gains Swift. Nah. If we're going burn-centric, maybe magic power is the way to go here. Gives us a little bit more scaling. It'd do 1 more magic damage. 1.5 technically. So if we had a lot of it, then it would scale up over time. Okay, here we're going to take the Binding Empowerment as per usual. We need our abilities to actually do things. There's our Quicken Leap. Love to see it. That's going to be huge. Inflicting Dazed is also pretty good, but I like to elect to go for Gain Shields, because that's going to allow us to trade a lot better. We may want to go for the Scorching Bonk right away. I've had issues with this not working sometimes. I think that's a multiplayer issue or something. But regardless, if we're technically trying to do burn, let's do burn. Otherwise, Evasive Image is also very good. It allows us to dodge 2 direct attacks. But like I said, we need to figure out damage. And I'm willing to trade HP to get there. Another Disintegration Oil. That's probably pretty helpful. We might use it on turn 2 here. Now our Tangles have Martyr. Not really much else we can do about that, but this is a Cinder Cultist. Probably the most... Again, any supporter is probably your priority number 1. This Tangle is only going to hit us for 4 afterwards. It's not that big a deal. I would like to take care of this Iron Cannon... like Friendo here, but he's kind of in an awkward location. We would have to use one. I guess he dies in 1 hit, actually. If we're going to use one, let's move here. This is going to be a little awkward. We didn't really need to do all that. Pick up this Power Orb, get our leap back, coming up over here. Very happy that we dropped that burn there. And then 3, we're going to take 3 if we don't after image. If we after image though, chances are, well, I mean, it could hit our bonk, but if it hits our smash, that's pretty good for us. So, but you're going to actually auto attack next turn, so no, we're just going to bonk you. Another Cinder Cultist. The Suffer Never Ends. We're going to need to do 2 attacks here. I guess we could evasive. We're going to need it anyways. Bonk, bonk. Leap. Orb. Are you serious? We just miss you? Now that's Suffer. Disintegration Oil isn't really going to do much here. If we leap up here, though, we are going to get our 5 heat for 3 shielding. It's a way to trade HP. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Also stacks a little bit more burn on you. All right. Alright. Probably going to use our disintegration oil now. Hit this man. I know Magic Pixel exists. I saw it. Yeah, like that right there. So if an enemy is already inflicted with burn, it was supposed to spread one burn to nearby enemies. And I wasn't looking down here, admittedly, but I was looking up here. And this nearby would have worked for stuff like chain lightning. So I almost don't think that it works. I think, honestly, this is as clean as it could have gotten. Pretty happy with that fight, considering. Alright. We can take Braided Acacia. Gives us a little bit of healing so that we don't have to heal right now, because we're going up against the boss. We kind of want to, you know, again, buy a build. Steel Brella, though, will help us trade 2 HP every turn because all of our abilities are physical, except for After Image. Sheath cards will get us a little bit more money. It's not a low amount of money, but we don't currently really have the ability to crit 5 times. Like, I mean, I suppose we do have After Image, so we can force a crit. Hopefully it hits Leaping Strike. We hit 3 enemies. We get some money out of it. It's pretty nice. But I don't think that this is going to help us when we immediately obviously need to address our health issue. Braided Acacia and Steel Brella will help solve that. I think we're going to go for Steel Brella. Of these options, we're going to restore some HP. Alright. Extracting Bonk, are we about that? I don't know why we're not about that. After Image is also very interesting, reducing that cooldown so that we can use it more often. But, Extracting Bonk, it's very weird because I feel like the 10% chance to spawn an orb, like, I understand the value, or like the statistical aggregate of 10%. But I feel like I'm just unlucky, and maybe that's my problem with Magma Miner. It's like voodoo. You have to believe in it in order for it to work. And I don't believe in extracting bonk. However, if it worked, it would be amazing, especially with a bead of flame. So we are going to take it. I don't see us re-rolling for a glyph with a glyph there. Prickly Puffer, thanks, I hate it. Incendiary, there we go. It may not seem like it, but this is very good single target damage. It's also good AoE. We need to go to the Carver, and I like the Carver more than stats. I think we might have to heal here. Another Steel Brella? Moss Mother's Embrace is also very interesting. Especially when you consider that After Image makes us crit. If we get that though, we do not have enough to heal. Maybe it's just double Steel Brella? This is interesting. We currently have no extra invested crit. Sorry about thinking about this a lot. See, I have to do this on Magma Miner as opposed to other classes. The game is basically asking me to display my character here. Character as in metal. We're going to go with Steelbrella. I feel like that's not the right move, but it feels like the safe move for surviving Lusk. And honestly, I believe Coin of Shadow will pay itself off by the time that we have to replace it. Alright, wish us luck. At this point, it's not really this fight that I'm concerned about. What do you guys have? No. No damage buffs at all? Okay. Feeling pretty good about that, actually. Like it's my birthday or something. Okay. These guys are hitting for 3. These guys over there are hitting for 4. We can apparently kill them. Whispered Invitation don't work, apparently. Get rid of you. Keep that orb there for next turn. We definitely don't hit you if we don't kill you, because you're just going to explode on top of us anyways. So I guess what we're doing, first eating our prickly puffer, and then we're going to go ahead and attack you, I guess. Unless we feel like walking up here and doing another leap is the correct move. We might go with that, actually. Hit this enemy just to gain an additional stack of heat, which is increasing our burn damage. And we're going to trade a lot here. This is why we opted to heal. Okay. Am I able to... There we go. Magic Pixel does exist. And we spawned an orb. I don't even... I'm immediately unjustified in my spicy take earlier. This is going to save a lot of damage here. What is going on? Like, I'm one for rolling the dice, but this might be a bit too lucky. This guy's pretty much done. Oh, just missed. If he hits us and applies Hex to himself because of Prickly Puffer, he will phase. Rude. He did get Hex, so I guess that order of operations doesn't work as intended. Man, Prickly Puffer's just bad. Any Prickly Puffer enjoyers in the chat? Okay, there's a little Lusk over here. Can I... We're going to need a little bit more damage before we can do that. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to leap in here. Magic Pixel doesn't exist. Profound Sadness. Hit you guys. Take this. Leap here. Bonk. And we'll accept no damage. Let's not trade 2 HP. I thought we were still hitting there. That's my bad. Magic Pixel exists? Come on now. You can't do this to me. There we go. All right. Yeah, this is a pretty clean fight. Everything considered, while Steel Brella definitely did do a lot of heavy lifting here, I think we were actually okay to take Moss Mothers. There we go. But yeah, Incendiary definitely helping us out there, for sure. Just putting that steady, consistent damage. Spark? Okay, so since we're technically not scaling physical damage, Spark doesn't seem bad at all. Also adds just even more burn, which will allow us to scale that burn pretty highly. Mine is also not something that I disrespect. 25% chance of spawning an orb is significantly more than 10%. Add them together, and I believe we have an aggregate on 2 hits. I'd have to do the math, but I think it's somewhere around 1 out of 3 chance. When you hit somebody twice with a 10% and a 25% at the end, that you will actually spawn an orb. And sometimes you technically hit both, and then you spawn 2 orbs, which is kind of nice. Getting a little bit of Quillings is also nice. I could see both of these. My main problem is losing the damage with Spark, but then it becomes damage over time. Definitely worth it, but we also need our upfront damage of Bonk to finish a lot of small enemies. And if we go into Spark, we're just going to accept all that damage. Unless we find a way to proc burn immediately, which would be on Incendiary, or potentially smash with Detonate. Huh. Let me take a look at our purples here. Whack-a-bonk. Okay. Okay, game. It's a good thing we looked there because of the bug that if we were to ascend this, it would pull that augment out. So I would actually highly recommend you guys look at your augment first before ascending your binding. And if we have Whack-a-bonk, I'm starting to feel a lot better about Spark. Mine would be insane damage, but feeling like we're kind of easing into a magic power build here. What is this? I guess of these things I'm more likely to use spike damage? I don't know. Pacifism feels a little suffer, especially on Magma Miner. We do have a little bit of ability power to pad it. Nim will be very easy for us. Otherwise, Bombastic isn't bad. Second phase is probably the easiest, but I don't know how we fight Giannis. Like, we'd have to scale some serious burn damage. We're not going to have our legendary either. That's another thing to note. So I think we take the Radiant Market. It's just easier. Oh, thanks. You shouldn't have. Barrier Potion feels great, especially because this first fight here can be inordinately difficult. We've got an Ink Pot, which is probably one of my most hated enemies in the game right now, if I was to be honest. but there's really not much that we can do about it. Our bonk's certainly dealing 0 DPS, but at least we can probably make it so that this burn will dispatch this. Then we're going to start on this pot because it's going to give us a lot of area denial, and I don't really want to deal with that. And I think I want to move like over hither. That's unfortunate. It's all pretty good though. Magic Pixel. Dealing damage to him is going to reduce his damage, which we are about. We're going to leap in here. Pot is dead. He's dead. Just have to figure out how we're going to not take a lot of damage. That honestly might be this barrier potion. Or if we can find a way to get rid of one of you. You're dealing 6, you're dealing 5. You're dealing 5. Feels like a waste, honestly. And we're gonna just miss this here. So I guess we're gonna hit you so that you deal a little bit less damage. More ink pots you shouldn't have. Don't shield them. Thank you. I can deal with that. I almost think the best thing to do is just to keep attacking you. Yeah, because that'll reduce your damage a little bit more. Why did you shield them? I mean, I guess you had to shield one of them, but I'm still very upset about it. So we're going to take care of you just because you're dealing direct damage to us, and we hates it. Are we actually going to be able to take care of you? Probably not. So we're going to go ahead and... the pots are doing global and they're in the goop. Okay. Okay, game. Now it's actually proliferating the burn. The nearby radius must be like seriously nearby. Which I honestly don't appreciate, but that is what it is. And we're going to take a truck ton of damage apparently. We're probably going to have to use our barrier potion. I don't know how else we are going to make it out of this. I mean, like, we can reduce that damage. That helps. And apparently we still have some steel umbrella. I suppose, yeah, because this is no longer a physical skill. Yeesh. Alright. I'm willing to trade 3 there. We could heal here or take more spike damage just in case we might run into something. I still don't feel good about re-rolling these stats here. Shield per enemy hit. I like that. Of these options here, the study seems like the best to me. I could also see the sea breach. I don't disrespect sea breaches. A lot of people that I've read have said they don't like sea breaches because most of the time the juice isn't worth the squeeze, if you will. But every single time that I walk up to a stat shrine, I usually get offered at most like 1 power that's relevant. So it feels like 80% of the time stat shrines do nothing for me. And maybe 50% of the time sea breaches do nothing for me. And when sea breaches do stuff for me, it's usually very good. So that's my opinion on it. I don't disrespect them. The problem is that we are a magma miner. This is not early in the game. I think we need to guarantee ourselves a vestige. Well, we got Dice of Fates. I was looking at Swindler's Getaway, and then I realized that we had Whispered Invitation, because this would have been the spiked that we've been scaling. But in order for us to use this, we would have to get rid of one of our only sources of like increased damage. Dice of Fates will just give us damage. It'll take a while, but we take a while. So what the heck is going on here? I don't like this ink pot situation. I like getting orbs. And this is pretty much why Whack-a-Bonk is good. Also, due to the fact that we have Extracting Bonk, it gives us free chances for orbs, which we definitely appreciate more than just spending AP for orbs. Or will, is what it's called in this game. We might as well honestly just kill you guys? I guess not. We want to farm you for possible more orb chance. We're at 10. This is as good as it's going to get. So we're going to go ahead and smash Becky. This actually deals more burn. Oh, he's done. That's good. Because we got to start working on these money... not these money pots. These ink pots now. Because they will become a problem on turn 3. That is kind of huge. Technically, we're dealing more burn by hitting with Bonk, but we're getting more shield by using Leap. And so that's the the mad plan here. These guys are done. So we can actually probably leap right here and negate all damage. Even more pops with phasing. Truly terrifying. Because after turn 3, as you can see here, they're going to deal 10 damage globally. I don't like it. We hates it. Well, that time we didn't get paid. Excuse me, why aren't you taking... Is there a reason why you're not taking damage? You should be dispatched. So let's get our orb. This is kind of rough here. I think what the move is, barrier potion after image. Excuse me, you were supposed to die? Oh, we used after image. Son of a... Alright. Alright, game. Can't tell if... There we go. Those were our free bonks. Now that pot is actually burning to death, as long as we don't do any shenanigans again. And I'm trying to figure out how exactly we get to the point to where we are not suffering here. That certainly helps. There we go. And this is going to allow us to leap out of most of this damage. Maybe that's actually right here. Yes, it is right there. Oh dear God. Probably gonna have to take a little bit of damage here. Was really hoping for an orb there, but I guess we're still blocking. Then I'm hoping that some of this disappeared. Oh, there was another puddle underneath it, of course. Anyways, we're fine. Take this. Send one of these over there. Make a little bit of money. Yeah, Coin of Shadow is already paid for itself, so any turn that hereafter is going to be even better. We're going to take more burn damage because that's obviously how we're killing things. Incendiary actually dealing damage seems pretty good, not going to lie. This gets 50 base damage. It's pretty much dealing as much as our smash with a lower cooldown, lower cost, actually is AoE. I definitely respect it more than Mega Smash, because Mega Smash, I mean, yeah, it might kill things, but it's going to kill like a thing for 2 AP. Probably like seriously disrespecting Smash, but every time that I try to make it work, it does not work out for me. I would certainly respect it more if it had the blue for on kill produces an orb, because then we could at least use it to clear trash. It would refund 1 will back, reduce cooldowns of everything. It's pretty nice. Okay. This is interesting. I actually don't think... Well, it could be Comet. Because we don't have the ability... Excavate increases the cooldown, which means that we can't spam it as much. Doubles the damage, gives us money, which would allow us to bankroll the final shop, but we're just really not set up for it. I think that it's Comet. Just inflict more burn. This isn't... No. That was our first. Just making sure that I'm not missing my carver. Okay, like I said, extracting smash, I'll take it. Although I'll be honest, Incendiary are actually doing some damage. You can't see it. I'm sort of like giving a head nod, like you know what I'm saying. I'm all about setting the world on fire right now, and -1 cooldown seems even better. It means we're doing it every single turn. What purples would we possibly want on this? We can get like insane burn damage, and we can get bonus damage against enemies burned. Both sound pretty good, but I kind of do want it just to be usable. I'm perfectly fine with this. Give me a vault, please. At this point, I understand that we have a ludicrous amount of glyphs. We'll probably start using them, maybe? Maybe. Let's get ourselves up there. Let's use this. Let's use this. Then don't fail me now, Bonk. Okay. I understand, Bonk. I was asking a little too much of you. But now you definitely wouldn't fail me now. Of course it wouldn't. How could it? Bonk is perfect. Okay, we're standing in a bunch of AoEs here. 6 and 6. So we're actually fine. Let's get some more burn on you. Just checking our dice. Which didn't seem like it rolled that turn, did it? And then we rolled a 1. Just like in D&D, it makes me want to suffer. That's big. It's honestly probably wasted on all of them. Come on now. Okay. I will start my 3-part apology against Orbonk by saying that I think that it is carrying this match. It has probably single-handedly saved this run. you know what? No. Other thing about common that it doesn't state is its insane like leap radius. It like almost doubles the radius for some reason. It's insane. We're just gonna make sure that you burn all right. Okay. Just short. And I mean, I don't know why I'm even looking at that when Incendiary's going to do the job. Why are there so many bats? All right. I'll be honest, Study of Windsong seems pretty good. Making an enemy take plus 100% damage when we're using Incendiary with a 270 baseline damage? Insane. Acknowledgement of Exemption is another possible venue for that, because we would just be able to spam Incendiary and pretty much wipe out anything that's going to threaten us. But only during the first turn. Study of Windsong is going to help us at all points. It's like insanely good. Don't know what else to say about it. I think of these options, we're still going to heal. Okay. Let's give Mega Smash. Like, it's kind of embarrassing that this thing does more damage. We will help it out. Now it actually tries to do as much damage as it's worth, but it's still single target, so it's pretty suffer. Beat of Flame and Blooming Un. Pretty much what we're looking for. Malformed Tracing also goes pretty hard. Malformed Tracing mostly being due to, well, we're using a lot of bonks. And so every fourth bonk is just going to give us a will anyways, which is kind of the orb that we're trying to get out of it. Otherwise, Beat of Flame just to inflict more burn for free, basically, on this build seems pretty good. I think it honestly might be Beat of Flame, Malformed Tracing. One of these Steel Brellas can probably get replaced. Actually, the Coin of Shadow. Coin of Shadow is probably not so great right now. So we'll take that, replace Coin of Shadow. And now we have damage. Okay. So another reason why I like Captor is because of the fact that, well, we can at least stack our burn on it. Excuse me? We can at least stack our burn on it while we are, like, going after these enemies. Use them for a little bit of Orbonk action. I said use them for a little Orbonk action. Okay. Game disagrees with the Orbonk. Okay. Honestly, we can just tank this Rhino, so we might as well. This Rhino is going to come over this way, and then they're going to be next to each other. Embracing the Orbonk. There we go. Can I hit you? Yes, you're actually going to die now. I actually think that this is better than leaping at the moment. Oh. I don't know. Hold up. We just unlocked Shuriken Pouch? Isn't that... We unlocked Oh. Yeah. What the heck? What the heck? Gain max HP from Stone Blossom 5 times in a turn. Well. Anyways. I guess we're just going to destroy you guys. And I'll stop you right here. Yeah, you're gonna face. Pretty easy. I would just have to navigate these liminal spaces of, hopefully spawning more orbs? Huh? Screw you, game. There's some orbs. Take that. That gives us Incendiary. We're going to hit all of this with it. Going to leap here. Pick up another orb. Leap here. Start more Orbonk. We are not going to take a whole ton of damage for free. This is critting. You guys are dead. And it's just us in the box. We'll trade 6. I'm not sure any of these are actually good. Like, obviously dealing burn damage immediately for us can deal a lot of damage. I just don't like the cooldown. I would much rather be able to spam an attack like this than make sure that it deals like a little bit more damage or even spreads more burn. Probably spreading burn is the right move, I accept, but yeah, no. And here we're not going to take Detonate. Might seem like that's the obvious choice. In this burn build, we deal, like, all Detonate does is make sure that we don't get attacked one turn. Which seems like a no-brainer, right? But, yeah, I'm sorry. We're just, we're not going to take it. We're going to take Demolish instead. Oh, what do you know? And Demolish with -1 cost? I'm about it. I am about it. And so then, next, after the Chapter 3 Elites here, we should be able to roll with a glyph if needed. I actually think that I think -1 will cost is exclusive, so we can't get 2 of them. So it's gonna have to give us, like, AoE Smash, which is going to do absolutely nothing here. So maybe it's after image? I don't know. I don't know. After image is a little weird because it's just good enough on its own. You have overt cheer. That's kind of funny. It's probably like the worst thing you could have possibly gotten for yourself. just going to take care of that. I don't think that we have a magic pixel here at all. But we're just going to bully these men. Maybe the correct move, of course, is to do this. Okay, we're going to do this, which is going to give us access to full heat. Now we should be able to dispatch you, make a ton of money for the next carver. We might be able to actually buy something. Would be kind of nice. And basically us just scaling heat and stacking an inordinate amount of burn with the multi-bonk is enough for us to just pretty much dispatch everything here. So long as we're not taking direct damage. Which, are you cleaving again? Oh, because you're a new guy. My apologies. Didn't realize you were new here. Yeah, I think that we can honestly wait on the box. Like, obviously, if we can magic pixel this, we're gonna take it. Maybe that's better for later, actually. Interesting. I feel like that's not true, though. Like, obviously the damage is gonna be better later, but all we have to do is produce one orb. One orb. There we go. Told you it was going to happen. And then we can hit you with Mark. That guy up next to us is dead. 77 burn will do that. Are you slicing again? That's so weird. I'm not complaining. Although it probably sounds like I'm complaining at this point. If this hits, there we go. Give me more money. And that box is dead. I don't think I want to take a look at how much damage that was dealing. It looked like 25,000. That can't possibly be true. That's impossible. This allows us to demolish for even more money. Plus burn damage here seems better than physical power. Especially because I'm kind of hoping that Dice of Fates just rolls more physical power. Discounted Smash isn't... Hold up. No. Discounted Smash isn't, exclusive? What? Okay, this is suddenly a good skill. Yo! I mean, I gotta, right? Oh my goodness, we're gonna have so much burn damage off of this. We gotta. 20 heat. What does that even look like? I think a Steel Brella can probably go. Maybe it's a Whispered Invitation because this is going to give us that 3. Because we definitely go past 10. Yeah, I could deal with that. Oh, it's going to say, give me another lava lizard. On hitting, inflict 1 stack is shocked. Eh? Like, I'll be honest, all these are pretty garbage. Like, Zephyrian isn't a 0 integer pickup? Like, I guess we can get rid of 1 Steel Brella? Yeah, I guess we can get rid of 1 Steel Brella. Actually makes Demolish, like, pretty good. Paradigm Shift, that with a 0 cost Demolish, free Sparks. I think that Paradigm Shift could go hard here. I just don't think that this is the run to do it, if that makes any sense. We're already showcasing this burn build. We're not going to make it like brain bending. We're going to do this some other time. But I think that this, like, all of our cooldowns are relatively low. Like, Demolish is pretty suffer. But Spark, Demolish, Comet, Spark. Yeah, this could work. I think we can re-roll and still look at something. On hitting, inflict 1 stack of burning. I honestly don't think that that's going to do much for us. Like, it will. It'll add more burning, but I think we're already super critical now. I don't want to get rid of this. Is it a little ridiculous not to get rid of a Steel Brella? Yeah, sure. Maybe it's a little ridiculous not to get rid of the Steel Brella. Okay. Let's do this. I don't know how we lose this. That's an awkward orb placement. Maybe we're just burning you. Holy Lord. Look at this lava lizard go. Make sure that we're full blocking. All 20 stacks of heat. Through your DR. If we had access to, like, Hex at all, this guy would be cracked and phasing. Okay, you're going to get bopped there. We don't have to worry about that. You're dealing damage to us, which is a little annoying, but you're already dealing the least amount of damage possible. So... I think it's a little something like this. Oh, there's 2 of those guys down there. You're already phasing, so let's stop bullying you and actually try to take care of you guys. Okay. We could probably walk back up and start bullying you some more. Okay, give me my orb, but let's deal some damage to you. Pick up my orb. Leap in over here. Direct you. Pick up my orb. Okay. Here's a neat trick. If the enemies don't live, they can't deal damage to us. Alright, let's leap in. This is going to seem a little weird, but I want him to hit the boss. There we go. You're shocked and marked. Get blacked. Man, if we had Mumsy's money machine, I mean, we're not making that much money, but at least make that feel a little bit better right now. Certainly appreciating it more than Detonate, because Detonate would just be overkill at that point. I mean, you're already dead. I don't know why I'm bullying you. I should be bullying you. Thank you. I would like to gain some shields, please. Okay. Time to pop this puppy. No puppies were harmed in the making of this video. Well, that was a GG. Like I said, we shouldn't have any troubles right now at Gold 3. There was definitely some oofty areas early on, but just like every other build, generally speaking, once you get past Book 2, Fight 1, like that's usually the turning point if the boss on Chapter 1 doesn't take you out. And we just had, you know, a ridiculous burn build. I would say that Incendiary definitely carried its weight after Image definitely saved us early on and then just became pretty much like a useless button later. But our bonk was just so good that it made up for literally the rest of our kit, besides maybe Incendiary. And grabbing the Lava Lizard was like chef's kiss. It's exactly what we needed at the end there, especially to like gain another additional 100% increased damage on our burn. And everything just died. Like, that's how that works. We ended up getting some stats on Dice of Fates. We appreciate it. That's another, like, 90% burn damage. Malform Tracing, Orbonk with Whack-a-Bonk. Just... And then, of course, we're dealing burn with everything. Like I said, that's just ludicrous. That is... I'll tell you right now, that is a platinum level win right there. I'm pretty sure that this beats Inkbound too. Like, we hit all the things. There's nothing else to say, I think. Anyways, hopefully it was educational. Hopefully it was entertaining. If you have any feedback whatsoever, be sure to leave that down in the comments below. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around.